Welcome back, Stardom Show 321 Live Limitless with Dr. Kishore Kumar, Professor and Founder and Chairman of Cloudnine Hospitals and Senior Neonatologist and Educator, Leader, Academician and Entrepreneur. Welcome to the show, Dr. Kishore Kumar.
Thank you, Ram.
Sir, let me ask my first question. How patients can take an active role in their care and safety? So important in today's environment. What do you want to share, sir?
That's a very good question, Ram. And in the past, we always used to think genetics play a huge role. That means whatever the genes have dictated your health, that's what is going to be rest of your life. But now there is a mounting evidence, and we call it as epigenetics. That means how you lead the life will alter the genes and your health in future. So it's always good to have a lead healthy life, because say for example you have got good genes but you are always a couch potato, then you are going to develop a risk for heart disease, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, everything. On the other hand, if you have got bad genes but you wake up every day and you lead very healthy life and go for jogging, go for healthy diet and exercise every day and have a bright sunlight and eat healthy foods, you can change your genes in many ways. That is what we call as epigenetics. And epigenetics clearly prove that the way you lead life is what is going to determine how you are going to live. So the best advice I can give for parents or anybody is lead a healthy life, lead an active life, eat a healthy diet and live happily.
Fantastic, doctor. Doctor, we are all so guilty of going to the internet to find information about medicine, medical related information. So what do you suggest? Like which kinds of websites, or are there any very specific sources where I can go and find trustworthy medical information?
That's a good question, Ram, and a lot of people don't realize that just Google. And just Googling is not the right thing to do, because Google is not a doctor. When you want to read about medical information, better to go for a reputable medical institutions websites like CDC, for example, of US. It gives a relevant, very active, updated information periodically. Harvard Medical School, for example, is very good website. And Royal Children's Hospital, Melbourne, for example, in Australia, has got a website dedicated to parents educating any childhood illness. So reputable institutions like that are definitely websites are very good to read, and it is authentical information which has been authorized by the institutions which are put up, which are scientifically evidence-based medicine. So those are the websites which are very good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And when we talk about health and wellness, I am wondering, what are your wellness routines? How do you keep your wellness? Do you have any suggestions for all of us with respect to what you do regularly?
Yeah, that's a good question. Most of us don't realize that wellness is very important until the age of 40, because we always hear life begins at 40. There is a reason why we say life begins at 40, because metabolism for any individual changes after the age of 40. So till 40, whatever you do, you can burn it off, you can live happily. But once you cross 40, your life changes beyond belief, because metabolism changes. So one of the ways I remain active is I spend at least 30 minutes to 40 minutes every day exercising in the morning. I have started eating healthy food. Healthy food means I still eat whatever I like, but in limited quantities, or I observe what I eat. In that way, you remain healthy. Once a year, once you cross above 40, it's better to get a health checkup. Health checkup could be involving blood tests and also some sort of imaging. For example, if you are above 40 or above 50, it's always advisable to have a heart scan once in 2 years, because the risk of heart disease, especially in South Indian population, is so high. It's better to be preventive rather than curative.
Awesome, doctor. Thank you so much. So now we have come to the second part of our interview series, where I would like to ask you to share one or two takeaways or tips or pieces of advice for our viewers from your experience and insights, doctor.
See, because I'm a pediatrician, I feel that any parent or even a grandparent should be equipped very well with what happens to your child in a normal routine. So I advise all my parents to read a book called Normal Child, because it's very important to understand in the parental perspective and grandparents' perspective what is normal for a child. Many parents don't realize what is normal, they get worried. So Normal Child, there's a beautiful book. It's called Normal Child by Illingworth, and it is a very, very good book to read. And if they want to contribute to the child's development, they can also buy what we call as a left brain, right brain of a child. And that gives incentives of how to stimulate and make the child achieve full potential. Those are the very good tips for the parents or even grandparents for that matter.
Thank you very much. Normal Child, that's the book. Fantastic, doctor. Do you also recommend any tool or any key resource for our viewers today that they can go check it out and use it in their daily activities, like just like that, like an important key resource that you have found very useful?
The important key resource is, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for health-derived information, there's a lot of websites which are active and running. But if you're including knowledge resources, there are lots of websites. For example, I am a history buff now. I want to know about the world. Now I hook on Netflix and I see only documentaries of different parts of the world. Now I've seen Cuba. I didn't realize, for example, Cuba has got a history of suppression of 400 years of various rulers. And that means even today they have not got independence. So it makes you wonder, and it makes you realize how lucky we have been in India, and that way we can relate to rest of the world. So there are lots of information like that. In the past it was available only in the books, but now there are documentaries available which you can see.
That's fantastic, because yes, once we know what's going on with other people, probably we'll also feel more grateful for our existence. Instead of finding deficiencies, probably we'll be finding our life more meaningful and grateful. Thank you, doctor, for coming on this show and enlightening us with your insights, your pieces of advice, as well as key resources that you shared. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ram, for doing this fantastic series, and it helps a lot of people. I'm sure they'll appreciate once they see these things. Thank you.